The Judicial Branch. The judicial branch of the United States government is responsible for interpreting the law and ensuring that it is applied fairly and impartially. It is made up of several different types of courts, including district courts, circuit courts, and the Supreme Court. The district courts are an integral part of the federal judiciary system in the United States. They are also known as trial courts, and are responsible for handling both criminal and civil cases that arise under federal law. There are at least one district court in each of the 94 federal judicial districts in the United States, and in some districts, there may be multiple district courts. District court judges are nominated by the President of the United States and confirmed by the Senate. The judges of the district courts are responsible for presiding over trials, hearing and deciding motions, and issuing orders in the cases they handle. They are also responsible for interpreting and applying the law in their decisions. Criminal cases heard in the district courts include offenses such as drug trafficking, immigration violations, and financial crimes that violate federal law. Civil cases may include lawsuits related to employment discrimination, environmental disputes, and intellectual property disputes. The district courts are also responsible for handling certain appeals related to bankruptcy and patents, as well as appeals related to cases that originated in the district courts. If a decision made by a district court is appealed, it may be heard by one of the 12 United States Courts of Appeals, which is the next level of the federal court system. The circuit courts are the appellate courts of the federal system. They are responsible for hearing appeals from the district courts and from federal administrative agencies. Each circuit court is presided over by a panel of judges, typically 3, who are nominated by the President and confirmed by the Senate. The circuit courts are the intermediate appellate courts of the federal system. There are 13 circuit courts, each covering a specific geographic region of the country, and each with jurisdiction over appeals from the district courts located within its region. The circuit courts are responsible for reviewing the decisions of the district courts, and can either affirm or reverse those decisions. The circuit courts also have jurisdiction over appeals from federal administrative agencies, such as the Environmental Protection Agency or the Federal Communications Commission. Each circuit court is presided over by a panel of judges, typically 3, who are nominated by the President and confirmed by the Senate. The judges on the panel hear oral arguments from attorneys representing the parties in the case and review the written briefs submitted by the parties. After hearing the arguments and reviewing the briefs, the panel issues a written opinion explaining its decision, which may either affirm, reverse, or remand the lower court's decision. In some cases, a party may request an en banc review, which involves all of the judges on the circuit court hearing the case instead of just a 3-judge panel. The decision of the circuit court can be appealed to the Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court has discretion over which cases it will hear. The judicial branch is an independent branch of government, meaning that it is not subject to the control of the legislative or executive branches. The judges and justices of the federal courts serve lifetime appointments to help ensure their independence from political pressure or influence. In addition to its role in interpreting the law, the judicial branch also plays a crucial role in protecting individual rights and liberties. For example, the Supreme Court has issued landmark decisions protecting free speech, the right to privacy, and equal protection under the law. By ensuring that the law is applied fairly and consistently, the judicial branch helps to uphold the principles of justice and the rule of law in the United States. The Supreme Court is the highest court in the United States and plays a crucial role in interpreting the Constitution and ensuring that federal laws and regulations align with it. The Supreme Court is composed of 9 justices, including 1 Chief Justice and 8 Associate Justices, who are appointed for life by the President of the United States, with the advice and consent of the Senate. Here are some key points to expand on this. The Supreme Court is responsible for interpreting the Constitution, which is the foundation of the United States legal system. It has the authority to review the constitutionality of federal and state laws, and to declare them unconstitutional if they violate the Constitution. This power, known as judicial review, has been a cornerstone of American democracy since the landmark case Marbury v. Madison in 1803. The Supreme Court also has the power to hear cases on appeal from lower federal courts and from state courts. The vast majority of cases heard by the Supreme Court come to it on appeal, either from lower federal courts or from state Supreme Courts. The Supreme Court has discretion to choose which cases it will hear, and typically chooses cases that involve significant legal or constitutional questions. Each year, the Supreme Court hears around 100 cases, which are typically argued by attorneys representing the parties involved. The court issues written opinions explaining its decisions, which have far-reaching implications for the interpretation of federal law and the protection of individual rights. The Supreme Court is often described as a nonpartisan institution, as its decisions are based on legal principles rather than political ideology. However, the appointment of justices by the president, who may have a political agenda, means that the court's composition can be influenced by politics. The Supreme Court also has a significant impact on American society through its decisions. Many landmark cases have expanded individual rights and protections, such as Brown v. Board of Education, 1954, which desegregated public schools, and Obergefell v. Hodges, 2015, which legalized same-sex marriage nationwide. Overall, the Supreme Court is a crucial institution in the American political system, playing a key role in interpreting the Constitution and ensuring that federal laws and regulations are consistent with it. Its decisions have far-reaching implications for individual rights and protections, and its composition can have a significant impact on American society.